Hello, everyone. I will switch gears a little bit because a lot was said about the regulations and the need to adjust the European laws and the way we operate on this market to increase the competitiveness. I would like to speak a little bit more about how digitalization and AI is actually impacting positively the enterprises and also the governments. With the resilience and recovery funds, we see some of the countries in Europe really investing in their future, building the right platforms, interoperability, but also kind of managing the data in a way that these funds will not be wasted, because in many occasions when you have the funds that are being given to the governments or companies, they usually tend to go after a shiny object and not always able to kind of fully utilize. So I want to really kind of focus on the opportunities, and data is kind of an important part of every digital transformation strategy. Organizations around the world are producing every single day about 1.3 trillion gigabytes of dark data, which means they're unstructured. The data for the business that are being used now, and later on they're just sitting idle and needs to be kind of properly adjusted. With the new technologies, AI, machine learning, we can actually organize the data in a more accessible way and drive not only analytics but also the development and the R&D. So when we think about the potential that is giving AI, and even though with the restrictions that AI Act is putting on it, there's still plenty of opportunities. So I mentioned about structuring data. I also mentioned about the access to the data. There is a lot of information, important information for operating, for citizens, for the enterprises on a different media and unstructured data. So AI is really kind of supporting, and machine learning is really kind of supporting the extraction in a fast pace that was never accessible before. I can give you an examples. We have processed a treasury bonds for the U.S. government, 1.7 billion data points in a very unstructured way, and we only did it in kind of 10 months. In the past, it would require probably about 3 or 4 years. So this is kind of a great performance. In terms of additional application of the AI and digitalization, is really kind of interoperability and how do we connect data from that are sitting in the different systems. Data are siloed and really kind of, especially for the governments, it's important that when the citizen comes in and do for example, driving license, doesn't have to bring the same information as was bringing to actually do ID or some other documentation related to utilities and birth certificates and so on. It's about kind of creating one database that all of the institutions have an access to and can use it so the citizens can improve their experience. And the last but not least kind of application of digitization is really around the R&D. So we saw during COVID how quickly the vaccination was developed using the new technologies, but it's also kind of in everyday life. So you can actually, using the technology, you can increase the number of patients treated in the hospitals by a few times, and we know how important it is for the healthcare sector to be effective. So they're really kind of good examples, and I think every organization is moving towards that direction. But we need the proper regulation which will kind of help to accelerate that. As Mr. Ayers said, it's important to not to be patient and work on the speed and implementation of the new technologies and education as fast as it is possible.
Thank you very much, Iwona.